Hello, my name is Geert Kool. I'm a member of the anti-racist, anti-fascist campaign Blockbuster in Belgium. Blockbuster is active since '91, that's 28 years ago. In that period we have organized dozens or even hundreds of protests, of actions against any attempt of the far right to get organized in real life, not only in the media, not only on social media, but to get organized in real life. We try to make sure that it's as difficult as possible for them to get organized. That is why we organize local protests. We organize demonstrations, actions, picket lines, and so on. We do this on a regular basis. Like every year we organize an anti-fascist demonstration in one of the student cities where the far right is trying to organize a protest. We are always with 2 or 3 times as many on our demo than on the counter demo, and that's very important because it makes it more difficult for them. The step to become active in their ranks becomes a higher step to take. Today this is even more important because the far right in Belgium is making a sort of a comeback. In the last elections, the Vlaams Belang scored 18% of the vote. In the opinion polls, they now get up to 24% of the vote in the Flemish area. They try to organize young people on the internet, but also in real life. So it's important that we organize protests against it. But not only to organize protests, also to bring an alternative to this message of division and hatred as is being presented by the far right. The far right can find a certain echo for their ideas because people see their conditions, their living conditions, their working conditions, that they become worse. And in a situation with worse conditions to live and work in, it's always easier. The easiest solution is always to look at those who have it even worse than we have, than normal workers have. And there's a room for racism in those conditions. We have to oppose this. It is clear that in the present time, especially now, since the crisis 10 years ago, we have never seen more right-wing policies in Europe and in the United States, Fort Europe, Trump building a wall at the Mexican border, as many attacks on immigrants as possible by different governments in Europe, but at the same time we see that the social conditions for the majority of the people continue to be undermined. So we have to be clear, it's not the immigrants who take our jobs or who close our factories, who break down our public services. That's not the immigrants. That is the wealthy people, the super rich people, the ones who have interest with a society in which division is the norm, because division is part of this inequality that is part of this capitalist system. So in our campaigns against the far right, we raise the need of jobs, homes, public services and so on. That's a very important thing because at the end of the day, our anti-fascist struggle is also a struggle against an obstacle in our fight for a different society. A system in crisis needs an alternative. A system in crisis leads to a situation where we have the choice, as Rosa Luxemburg said, a choice between barbarism or socialism. The far right, they represent the reactionary forces of barbarism. We have to fight for a different alternative, and that is part of our anti-fascist fight.